Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's a rainy, blustery Tuesday today. Every time I look out, it looks more like, I think I heard someone say today, use the word January. Very much like a day in January here today, with lots of rain and wind. Perfect day to do some practice and to work on your English. Today's posting has taken me a little bit of time to post because I'm here at the center doing some work. But it has some parts to it that we talked about yesterday. So hopefully you'll get a chance to work your way through. First of all, you will see a posting of a listening practice. You have a man, his name is John, and he is starting a new job, and he is being introduces himself, and he's introduced to different co-workers at his new job. And what I want you to do is, as a practice listening assessment, again, it's not a very interesting video, but listen to the conversations. You can listen to them several times. If you need to listen 2 times or 3 times, that's fine. You can take notes if you need to. But when you're ready, move on to the practice quiz. I think there are 12 questions about the video. And the questions explore different ideas we have been talking about with formal versus informal language, and also different ways of making small talk and introducing people. So the quiz, once you unlock the quiz, you only have 20 minutes to complete it. So be sure to be ready when you do try the practice assessment. And as I said in class on Monday, tomorrow we'll talk a little bit about this practice quiz and see what your opinion was of the workplace. After it's finished, I will be posting our listening assessment. And you will have until next Monday to complete that assessment. So this is a practice, and the real assessment will be very similar to this one. Once you have this completed this, you will then see another video with a different teacher. He's a man from Toronto, it seems, in his introduction, who is working in Rome. He calls Rome the eternal city. So maybe in the comments section, you can try to write 1 or 2 sentences to see why you think they call Rome, Italy, the eternal city. He gives you some pointers for introducing yourself formally and informally. But I think they also are good tools or tips for introducing other people when you are in a formal versus informal. There's the word versus that we've talked about a few times in terms of spelling introductions. Finally, you have kind of an oddball thing. So anyway, watch the video and then do the questions. On Wednesday, we'll spend a little bit of time talking about the video, what your perceptions are of it, and see if you have any questions. You might have some questions about the informal part of the introduction, because he does use some idioms, and there are some idioms that come up in the practice listening assessment as well, so you can always ask me about those. The last thing I posted is kind of a strange exercise about introductions and spelling. And one of the things that I thought would be good to just mention, and I should know being a poor speller, is that when we are writing, we also have to watch and be careful with many of the same rules that we use for speaking when it comes to formal versus informal. So when we write formally, we're probably not going to use contractions. We're not going to use simple sentences. We're going to mix our sentence types. And one of the reasons we studied or learned different types of sentences is because in formal language, we use mostly complex sentence structure, compound sentence structure, compound, complex, and we only use simple sentences to emphasize something or maybe to start conversation. So contractions, another thing we don't use in formal writing. Larger, more complex words. But one of the things that is very important, and I suppose is somewhat like pronunciation, is that when we are doing formal writing, we have to be very careful with spelling. Because with spelling, if we make many spelling errors in an email or a letter to someone, it creates a bad impression, not only of our skill, but perhaps hurts how formal the letter sounds. So what we want to do is get used to or become used to finding and seeing spelling errors in what we write. So that's a little exercise, is just a proofreading exercise as we talk about another type of formality. So that's the posting for today. Give all of it a try. If you have questions, we can talk about them tomorrow. We'll see you at the normal times, 10:30 for morning students, 1:30 for afternoon students. And I hope you are dry and enjoying a practice assessment. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about the 2 videos we watched today. Take care and see you tomorrow.